Bills, bills, bills. We all have to pay the bills. Rent, insurance, student loans, credit cards, utilities, it's all so overwhelming. Everyone wants their slice of your hard-earned paycheck, but none are so sinister as mean old Uncle Sam. He does not even give you the luxury of seeing your money before he devours it. This is an outrage. If only the blasted government did not tax you so hard, maybe you would be able to afford something nice once in a while. Nobody likes taxes, but what are taxes? Essentially, a tax is money you must pay under threat of violence. This is not like shoplifting. If you steal a game system, you will suffer police violence, but you did not need that game system. You are not compelled to buy, so you could choose not to pay. Using this definition, we see that lots of your bills are actually taxes. Landlords, insurance providers, loan agencies, and utility companies, along with greedy Uncle Sam, are all tax collectors. Hold up. I chose to rent this apartment. I chose to use this insurance company. These are not taxes. Sure, the police will come after me if I do not pay, but like the game system, I am making free decisions in the free market. Only Uncle Sam taxes me, because I have to pay him whether I want to or not. How true is this, though? You did not choose your country of birth, but you could move to another country. It would be difficult, but you could. You could choose to join a religious commune that does not pay taxes. Theoretically, you do have a say in how many taxes you pay by electing officials, but you and I both know elections are rigged for economic elites. You have some say over your tax bill from Uncle Sam, but altering it would be very difficult. Now think about the other things. You did not choose a body that requires food for sustenance, shelter for warmth, and that sometimes gets sick or injured. You could choose not to buy food or shelter or health care, but you would suffer the violence of nature. If you do not buy, you could become ill from exposure or starvation. If you live in an apartment but do not pay, well, here come the cops. You must pay the bills one way or another, with your health, your wealth, or your freedom. These bills are taxes on you, private taxes. Your landlord has just as much authority to have you arrested as Uncle Sam, even though you could theoretically immigrate to the Bahamas or live on the street. In this way, we see that Americans have massive tax burdens. The middle quintile of earners pays about $3,000 per year in federal, state, and local taxes. But add in those private taxes. $10,000 for housing, $2,500 for utilities, $4,600 for medical care, and $8,000 to fuel, insure, and maintain a vehicle that you probably need to go to work every day. The necessities add up, leaving only about $14,500 to spend on things you do not need to stay physically healthy. That is 72% of all your money going to things you have to buy. Of course, middle-income households do not necessarily buy the bare minimums. They need things to survive, yes, but they probably spend a little extra to get a little extra. The same cannot be said for lower incomes. The second lowest quintile spends 74% of their income on necessary expenses. The lowest quintile spends 76% of their income on necessary expenses. If we say the lowest quintile represents the bare essentials, what you must pay, the middle and second quintile respectively pay 37% and 52% of their incomes in private taxes. 12% of Americans, over half the bottom quintile, live in poverty, so this benchmark for bare essentials is actually lower than what people need. Uncle Sam effectively taxes these brackets at less than 5% of their total income. He may be mean, but he certainly is not the meanest kid on the block. Even the second highest income bracket needs to spend 22% of its income on the bare essentials compared to the 10% they pay to Uncle Sam. We need housing for shelter, clothing for warmth, food for sustenance, healthcare if we get sick, a car to go to work, and an education to get a job to pay the bills. Private entities take far more of our money than the government for goods and services we need to survive. Private taxes are a far bigger issue than public taxes. But no private tax collector is as overwhelmingly disgusting as your boss. They might sign your paycheck, but that is your post-tax income. The average worker makes $31,099 per year by selling their labor to capitalists, but they add $125,909 per year to the economy, GDP divided by workforce. Your boss takes 75% of the value you add to the economy before you even see your paycheck. You have to sell your labor to survive, unless you already have the capital to exploit your own workers. So this is indeed a tax on labor. Forget rent, forget healthcare, forget credit cards, forget Uncle Sam. Your boss is taxing you more than all of them combined by a wide margin. You cannot engineer yourself to never get sick. Your body will always require food. Uncle Sam's hunger is as certain as death, and you know your vote does not count. Fortunately, you can affect the largest and most devastating tax you owe: profit. Take back the money stolen from you by capitalism. Join a union. If none exists, create one. Agitate, strike, and seize the means of production. When you and your fellow workers own the fruits of your own labors, you will see just how much capitalism was holding back from you. Then, maybe those other taxes will not seem so bad.